Hello, everybody. Welcome to the, what am I doing? We're doing political tarot every day live stream. Yes. Daily political tarot live streams here on the Black and Orange channel. That's what I was trying to say. I've been rushing. There were so many questions. There's so much going on. I've never worn these nails before. And I like how much they match. I'm definitely going to have to, this is my go-to lipstick, Maybelline's Inspirer. And I didn't realize these match so well, so I'll have to wear these more often. But when I put them on, it was like, oh my gosh, because when you wear new nails, quite often there are things at the ends where they were formed. And it was like, I'm going to put one of my own eyes out on these things if I don't do whatever this is called. I'm not wording today. I'm just seriously not wording well. So filing, that's it. Anyway, so I got out I've had this thing forever. So I got out my Halloween Witch nail file. And I had to do something, man. Okay, but I'm here, and I've got 14 questions from you today. And I could have taken more. I mean, there's so much going on, and people have so many questions. I could have been doing this for the rest of the day. So actually, I've sent an email to Lori at the Way of Positive Change. I believe she's coming on this afternoon. Is that right? Or did she come on this morning and I missed it? Usually she does Friday afternoons. And so anyway, I hope I'll be able to go on with her. But if she's got other stuff going on, I understand. It's last minute anyway. Revolution Ricky says, wow, going for the Wolverine role in the X-Men movies. Yes. I don't know what kind of flowers these are, I'm afraid. I just think they're pretty. They kind of reminded me of like Tudor England, historical, that part of art history. So I grabbed them. Just having a look. Thank you, Sempris. I'm glad you like the overlay. Thank you, Well-Being and Health. NK, thank you guys. Oh, Rhonda, my 80s hair. Yeah. All right, so I don't know. Okay, hey Cindy. Dahlia could be. Paula says looks like a rendition of Mums. It just looks Tudor to me. That's all. Yes, the Tudor Rose. Well, or Tudor Daisy. That 1500s. Anyway. Yes, the new Catwoman. Anyway. If you're watching this on replay, you don't have to sit through all of this. If you go down in the description box, all the questions are there for today, and I timestamp them as I go along. So you can just get in and out, pick whatever you'd like, jump ahead. Every day you can always skip around, and get in and get out. So thank you, Joanne. Thank you. That's very kind of you. So anyway, if you have any prayers to spare, please send them toward Sarah, my bestie, who comes on here sometimes, who is usually on with me in the afternoons at the 4 o'clock creative sprints over on Book Art Media. She hasn't been on in a while. She's got COVID. She's got a bad case of COVID. She's not in the hospital, but she's sending me pictures in the morning. She's calling proof of life, which is good. She was able to get a little more sleep last night. She said she was able to actually sleep in like 2-hour, maybe 3-hour blocks. So that's an improvement. She's very ill. So if anybody has any prayers to send her way. Those of you who are regular watchers, you know that Sarah is, I've never actually met her in person. She's been my best friend for 10 years. Never met her in person. But we video conference all the time and have for years. Do we talk, video talk? And at the darkest, some of the darkest places in my life when I was just I'd completely imploded. She was there and she was encouraging me every single day. And I can never thank her enough for that. And she's such a sweetheart. She took in foster kids. She takes care of her family. She's got her own health issues on top of all of that, and she's still. So she's in Louisiana. So she's Southern. She's very funny when she gets upset about something or she gets mad because she gets more and more Southern, and then she ends up laughing, and people around her end up laughing because the Southernisms just get thicker and thicker and thicker. It's really wonderful. So anyway, okay. Rhonda Cox says that woman needs a smackdown, passing it to your dear friend and her family. Yep. Oh, Hippie Sue, prayers for Sarah and family. I can't hear while in the doctor's office, so I'm reading lips and comments. Oh, okay. Thank you. Wellbeing says you need a reunion after she's well. Yeah. Electra Storm says I'm glad she was vaccinated. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And she actually, I don't think she'd mind me telling you, back when there was a big long waiting list, like months and months for a waiting list, she actually joined a trial for one of the vaccines. I can't remember which one. Danielle Stimson, is she open to receiving Reiki? I'm happy to send. I believe she would be. I believe she would be. She believes in this sort of thing, and she is such a sweetheart. So anyway, yeah, like it was like January or February. She couldn't even get a vaccine until she has pre-existing conditions, but she couldn't even get on the list till like September. So she joined a trial. So she got the vaccine early, and she made sure her kids did too. At least her oldest did. Yeah, her oldest. It was just her oldest was old enough. And yeah. Anyway. Okay. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Semper saying I get more Southern the more annoyed or the more drunk I get. Anyway, okay. And Wellbeing and Health's husband is from Louisiana. I lived in Baton Rouge off and on for about 10 years, so I do love the place. Anyway. Okay. Before I get too upset. Melissa Gerber, you had a question. I'm afraid I can't answer. Does Sidney Poitier have a message for his fans? He just crossed over, and he's adjusting. Some people cross over, and like Betty White, she was ready. And I heard a rumor. Have you guys heard this too? That her last words were her husband's name, who had passed, like he'd come to get her. Anyway, so actually, I'm getting all teary this morning. Teresa Four said, "Yes, I heard that." Oh, yep, you guys heard that too. Anyway, so but Sidney Poitier, although he was in his 90s, I don't know why, But it almost feels like it wasn't what happened when he passed wasn't quite what he was expecting. He's not bad. But I just get this feeling like he just needs a minute because he's like, this isn't what I was expecting. But that's not bad. That's not negative. He's fine. And he's like, oh, okay. But he feels like he needs to get his kind of feet beneath him. And he'll be okay. But he's well taken care of. I'm getting that very clearly. So, Melissa, thank you anyway. Okay. All right. Joanne Frank says, for her Earth birthday, January 17th, people are donating to animal shelters in her name. Teresa Ford says, Pisces moon, I'm teary today and I'm not that gal most days. It's just a day. It's just a day. Scary Harpy, I've lived in Baton Rouge for about 20 years, not loving it. Well, I was there in the 90s, so I don't know if that makes a difference. So I think I got there in 1990, 91, something like that. So, all right. So many questions. Let's jump right in. Steve had a question, something I had not heard at 12 minutes in. Sean Hannity? Is Sean Hannity, crawled out from underneath his rock to say that Sean Hannity to the committee swearing to tell the truth would be a violation of his contract with Fox News. Excuse me, I want to see that contract. Will there be fallout? I hadn't heard that. But secondly, can we point out that the way either you've worded that or he worded that, probably he worded that, is telling the truth would violate his contract with Fox News. I don't know who he's talking to, but that sentence is technically telling the truth would violate his contract with Fox News. How very open and honest. Okay, but he says he can't talk to the January 6th committee because it would violate the contract. Right, because being called to speak out to save democracy and your country is less important than your job. Even if that's true, which I don't believe. Really. Profiles and courage, my people. Hannity feels like he is toast. Danielle says the law supersedes contracts. Yeah. DLC says the problem with Sean Hannity is he cannot be considered a journalist because he has testified in court that he isn't one. It feels like Hannity is sweating bullets, and he's worried. Hey, Doxy Mom. Lori Kettle says, produce the contract. Yeah. But that's... Even if you had to break that contract, you're a millionaire. You're a multi-millionaire. You are called. If I had to give my job up, as much as I love being here with you, to do what I could to save the country, I'd miss you. I can't tell you how much I enjoy spending every day with you guys. You are awesome. But at the same time, I love my country. Hannity is sweating bullets. Facing poor little Shawnee boy. Shawnee boy. Revolution Ricky says, I'm sure if Hannity told the truth, he would burst into flames. Doxy Mom says, isn't today the day Donald is to be deposed in New York? Ooh, is that today? I didn't write it down. I should have written it down. Please, can you guys go beseech the Google machine and find out if that's today? But Sean Hannity, it would violate your contract. Oh, come on, internet. I'm getting a low internet warning. The audio should stay. The visuals might get a little. Diane Cachet said he said it in a written statement. Said, cannot swear to God on the Bible. He said, I answer to a higher power, Rupert Murdoch. No, he did not. He did not, Diana. Nuclear Magenta, it is scheduled for today. Oh boy, that's become number 2. Oh, that's number 2, but Hannity. He's just withdrawn, sweating bullets. Trapped. He feels trapped. You're not trapped if you actually are an actual patriot, an actual person who loves your country. And by the way, we need to take some of these words back. Being a patriot is not being some right-wing nut. Being a patriot means you are loyal to your country. I am a patriot of the United States of America. Michelle Sutherland. Hey, Michelle, you have a conscience. He's lacking. Okay. Semper says, so far, no news on whether they are complying with subpoenas, but yes, today is the deadline. Sheer Jane saying he knows things. Dana Cash says, was it a joke? A satire New Yorker? Maybe. Hannity. Page of Pentacles. I'm nobody. I'm just oh my gosh, he is backpedaling. I was nobody. I talked to the president, the emperor, but I was a page. It wasn't important. Go talk to the committee. Yes, it's all going to come to light that you are not a journalist and you are politically married to Trump. Go talk. Oh, no, I'm not important. No. Backing up, hiding. There are people who have lived and died, who have given their lives for this country. Man up, and I mean that I actually don't mean that in a gendered way. I mean what it means, what the expression means. Man up and go talk to the committee. Al Menzies says, remember we said the Pledge of Allegiance in school. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh. Actually, I went to Catholic school. They didn't make us say the Pledge of Allegiance. But I did get in trouble in kindergarten. So I'm pulling the cards. I'll tell you, when I was in kindergarten, my mom had given me a new dress. And apparently my mother said, in the nicest way, but she said, it's like, I seemed pretty tidy when I was a kid. And she said, There were moments you were kind of a priss. Like, thanks, Mom. She's like, I'm sorry. It's just. But anyway, she gave me a new dress, and it like stuck out a little bit, just a little bit, and so we're doing the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm in kindergarten, right? And I figured out that if I started doing this, the skirt would move independently of me. So I was just, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And my teacher called me out, and I got into trouble. And it so upset me. I burst into tears and like threw myself at her sobbing. And she was just like, what? Yeah. Anyway. Hannity, back to this jerk. Thank you. Maria, thank you. Hannity. Oh, my gosh. You're in so much trouble. And it isn't that he's necessarily in legal trouble. It's that he is stuck. He is legally required to go talk to this committee, but he will anger Trump, anger his base. He and also he does feel a little bit scared, like I knew stuff and I didn't say anything. Wheel of Fortune is turning on Hannity. Queen of Swords, 10 of Wands, 3 of Wands, Sun, 10 of Cups. Go talk to the committee. We have all of these. We have all this information. We have all of these texts. We have all this information. I sent stuff I sent out, and this is all coming back to me, coming to light as evidence, and it's in the public. I'm with you, Faye. I don't like the way that the word patriot's been subverted by the right, or freedom, or anything like that. Scary Harpy says Wheel of Fortune running over Hannity. Kind of feels like it. Yeah. Barbara said he said telling the truth would destroy his reputation. Katie Arbuckle said, I fell asleep last night to Kitten on a Slide, and today woke up to Mini Autumn. DeSales Heights Academy in Parkersburg, West Virginia. That's where I went to kindergarten. It was run by the nuns. Hannity. Oh boy. Hannity, what did you do? Seriously, Hannity, what did you do? He's freaking out. 3 of Pentacles, Hermit, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, King of Cups. The plan being examined is information laid out. This feels like the Biden administration, there's a kind of little feeling of maybe a DOJ here. Like maybe he knew. Could it be accessory to a crime? Maybe. Pentacles. Man up and go talk to the committee. Strength, Moon, King of Pentacles. His base is going, Hannity's viewership are going to be very upset. There's something here. They are going to be very, very upset with him. And he, granted, he can take his money and go home, but he's going to have to do something that's going to very, very much upset his audience. That's what I'm getting for Hannity. So, and I'm going to go get something, and we're going to get something cute before we start diving into the Trump question. Sales Heights, Susan Sales. Oh no, DeSales. D-E and then S-A-L-E-S, I think it is. DeSales Heights Academy. Hang on. This was actually first grade, so it was a year after, but that was me. And that was the DeSales Heights. So, anyway. And then, put this back. Alexa, home. And then my second grade picture, which is the other year I went to DeSales Heights. If anyone's ever wondering, my nose is broken. I basically was dragging my feet as I was getting off at the end of recess. I was dragging my feet as I was getting off the swing. My feet caught. Bam. Day before school pictures. So I've been a klutz for a long time. So anyway, that was me. Second grade. So anyway. Oh, and just because I'm working, my mother was a nurse back in the day. That was my mom. I love that picture. Anyway, my mom. All right. I'll stop now, or I'll just keep showing you pictures all day. Thank you. All right. You look like your mom. Thank you. Thank you. All right, that is a huge compliment to me. Yeah, they didn't retouch in those days, no. Apple, I agree. Nurses are extremely smart. Yes. All right, Trump. So apparently, it's 30 minutes in. Thank you. 30. what's it called? We have to go talk to, is it deposition? Donald's deposition with Tish James. It's supposed to be today, but yeah, my mom put me in Montessori for kindergarten, and the only Montessori around was DeSales Heights. Even though my family's Catholic, so they like that too. But and my mom wanted me in Montessori because they, excuse me, in the mid 70s, they were the only people around who would let me be left-handed. I'll bet you did, Mandy. I'll bet you did. Bless her. Oh, thank you, Justin's mom. It's a huge compliment to me if you say I look anything like my mom. All right. You should see my middle sister. Whew, she's a knockout. Always has been. She's always been better looking than the rest of us, and that's totally cool. Because my oldest sister is the stable, successful, amazing, friendly, sociable. It's great. It's great. Anyway, I've got to read on this now, don't I? All right. So the deposition is supposed to be today, but let's ask the, is this deposition actually happening? What excuse, or you can't take me to jail, or you can't take me in for a deposition? Is the judge ruled on whether this will go forward or not? Because he was asking the judge to say, no. He turned in the article to the judge where she had said she's going to go after him when she gets into office, and lo and behold, she did. And he's saying that means it's politically motivated and she's biased, and you have a hugely corrupt figure. You're running for office. You say, I'm going to go after the hugely corrupt figure. You take it to a court. She doesn't decide if he's guilty or not, or if he gets punished. You take it to court. That's how this works. And mom is a looker. Mom is a looker. Actually, this reminds me of when I was in college. My sisters are there's quite an age gap between us, and so I was doing my thing. I'm in college, and I'm in and my sisters, they're off. They're careers, kids, marriage, all this kind of stuff. And I was putting my makeup on. It was like a Christmas or something, and I went into the downstairs, the powder room. And I was there, and I was putting on some makeup. And my oldest sister, she came to the door. She looked at me, and she said, "Wow, you're pretty." Siblings. I love that. I love that about siblings. They're totally immune to your charms. Like was it Amy in Little Women? When Joe cut her hair off? Joe, you're one beauty. I know, I'm talking a lot. All right, Trump. Yeah, he'd actually have to show up and talk. I'll just make this 30. I will take pity on those using the timestamps. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Don. Ooh, Revolution Ricky, I'm so sorry. Yeah, DLC, Trump is throwing everything he can at the wall. Timer's running out for him. Oh, Polywanda, I don't believe that. Oh, yeah, Julie. Polywanda, message ridiculous. Diana says he won't. Yeah. These are the fights he's been doing for so long. She's got the power. He thinks he's got the power. Insult to injury. Oh, he's going to fight her, and fight her more, and fight her. I assume this is not actually happening today, even though it was supposed to. Trump's deposition with Letitia James was supposed to happen today, but Trump deposition with Letitia James. Oh, Trump, come here. Just sit down. Just sit down. Oh, Helen says, never underestimate the orange Fuhrer. Yes. Shoot, Jane. Oh, please drop questions in tomorrow's live chat. I'd appreciate. I welcome your questions. Thank you. 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. You're toast. Oh my gosh, the energy is nailed to the wall. Oh my gosh, it will seem like nothing. I go in, I talk, I lie, I I can't read that. I don't have my glasses. He's trying everything he can do. But the way he did stuff, the different valuations, there's potential jail time involved in that. Fruits of labor. And she's got that information, and he goes and talks to her eventually, and he's like, yeah, I took care of it. And then that happens. Major arcana, law enforcement, change. With the justice card for the reading. This is how this is ending. Slather butter on your head and some jam to hold down that cotton candy nest on your head, because you are toast. Oh, Cindy's fighting a migraine. I hope you feel better. So when they come and all right, so they're going to go after him. They're going to go after his family. Oh, they're going after the kids. And they're going after him. But they're going after the kids. And okay. So, and I imagine the court case would actually be, what, next year? So, is Trump going to actually, be able to sit in front of a judge and have that judge say, to have a jury say guilty on these counts and a judge actually sentencing him? Temperance. Don Gubb says, the man reads cue cards fine and dandy. Helene Francis, do not waste good jam on him. That's true. Cotton candy? I thought that was a hamster. Revolution Ricky. That was very good. I like that. Scary Harpy says, agreed, use generic brand jam. Certainly not my beloved blackcurrant jam, which is the best. I love that stuff. Makes the best peanut butter and jelly sandwiches ever. Delay, 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 delay. Throw everything you can at them. He's a fool. He knows he's guilty. Blah, 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 blah. Drag this out for years, as long as you possibly can. Okay, well, he's going to drag this out. Could somebody please actually hold him in a jail while he's waiting? No, Holly in France, being found guilty is a part of justice. It is a part of the legal. It is a part of the legal system. That's the government. It is part of the legal system. We want justice, plain old-fashioned courtroom evidence laid out. Jurors look at the evidence and come to a logical conclusion. That is what I want. But this is what with Tish James, it's just civil case, but he believes, and he may have reason to believe, that whatever he says will be used against him in a civil case that Cy Vance is working. Not the civil, the criminal case that Cy Vance is working on. The Six of Wands. Oh, he thinks he's going to win. Whatever it is, he's going to win. Hermit, Magician, Four of Cups, Knight of Wands, Ten of Cups. I think we're going to hear a lot of January 6th stuff before we get to legal. This is them looking carefully. They're doing whatever they're doing. This feels like his lawyers gumming up the works. Refusal, delay, and then it's January 6th stuff that energy that takes over. So Maritza says, I know you have your questions for today. However, when you get a chance, can you ask if their assets are frozen since Melania is selling her, whatever those things are called, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Are they low on cash? She's money grubbing. I ain't saying she is a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. Hang on a second. Nice. I was able to type in these nails. It takes so little to make me happy. They certainly have legal fees. That's future. Legal fees. Well, if she's going to go off on her own, she's going to have huge legal fees too. But there's a big change coming for her. Big change. I sincerely wonder if Donald has left anything for Melania in his will. Oh, Polly Wanda. Gross. Not with you, Doxy Mom. Okay, see, now I'm trying to find out information. I'm being temporarily derailed here. 47. And I'll get back to this because I think this might tell us something. Will Melania inherit? Or is she going to be iced out? Holly and Francis is probably stipulated in the prenup. I agree with that. Al Menzi says the latest is a digital picture of her eyes for whatever Bitcoin thing. Yeah, she made a lot of money off of it too. Scott Covet, we're standing by. Thank you. I don't like her. We would not be friends. Oh, thank you, Kathy Yen. Thank you. Thank you. Queen of Wands. Oh, she's because she has stayed with him, she's become a little bit of a figurehead in parts of MAGA land. Really? Three of Pentacles. Sorry. Three of Swords. Moon. Empress. Tower. Two of Swords. I don't think it's going to go so well for her. Nope. She's got a very large picture of herself in her mind. And she's going to have some big decisions to make, or rather small decisions to make. Big decisions about her life, but small decisions when it comes to Donald's will, because I don't think she's getting much. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that he only allowed like very little in her name. Electra Storm says, I feel no sympathy for her at all. Oh, I don't care. Do you? His money, Desrat. What's so appealing about Jabba the Hutt, I wonder? His money. And she has said as much. I'm serious. All right. 50. Diana Cash, I had a question. All right. Why the heck isn't Tucker Carlson? Okay. Diana is unhappy, and I understand why. So this is what Diana wrote. Why the heck isn't Tucker Carlson a January 6th Select Committee public target yet? Could you read on Tuk Tuk? So, poor little Tuk Tuk. So far, he has escaped the January 6th Select Committee and Liz Cheney's wrath, no text release, etc. Yet, he said calling the January 6th, what happened on January 6th, an act of terrorism was a lie, made Ted Cruz backpedal. Tucker Carlson screaming at Ted Cruz that he lied when he said January 6th was an act of terrorism. Tucker's son works for Jay Banks, who Pelosi booted from the January 6th Select Committee. It seems like Tuck is in pretty thick. He's afraid NSA is bugging his phones, etc. Really? Are they? Why is Hannity on the hook, not Tuck? Is Tuck already being investigated? So I figure I'm just going to do a big reading on poor little Tuck. Oh my gosh. M. Kelpie saying Melania blames Trump for the failure of her perfume line. Who on earth will this smell like any of them? Whew. Tucker Carlson. Tucker. He's the one person on Fox who my parents will watch. If I go through when they're watching TV and it's something news-ish, it's Tucker Carlson. It's like, really? Just wall that off, pretend it's not happening. We don't talk about it. Tucker Carlson. Oh, there's a lot of stuff being given to the January 6th Select Committee. A lot of stuff. Al Menzi says, didn't Tucker turn on Cruz for saying January 6th was an act of terrorism? Yes, he did. In the past for Tucker, he was in with the Republicans. He was important. Center of the reading. Oops, sorry. It's not only money, it's this Republicanism as well. And it's making money from his advertisers and you're okay, Pamela. 5 of Wands and the 8 of Cups are above Tucker. This is people on the potential insurrectionists turning on each other. This is people coming in, giving evidence, leaving. The other person comes in, leaves a cup of evidence, leaves. Comes in, leaves a cup of evidence, leaves. There's a ton of information flowing into the January 6th Select Committee. A ton of it. And this is hanging over Tucker Carlson's head for some reason. Base of it. This feels like ratings. But it could also be the evidence laid out and potential law enforcement. Which is also good for ratings because that's what he thinks about. All right, home environment. He's a fascist. I'm sorry, he just is. If you go and you listen to him for 30 seconds, hopes and fears. Oh yeah, he just wants to be important. See, he wasn't always important. And so there's this part of him that gets a kick out of every day. He's important. What he said, people listened to him. They didn't always. What other people see? This is people going to prison. This is my up the river card. I don't know if it's him, but the challenge. Oh, the committee. The committee is hanging over Fox News. Like, if it was a political cartoon, it would be the building where Fox News is recorded, and there would be a gargantuan vulture that says January 6th Select Committee on it. Just looking down. just waiting. At least that's how he'd see it. I need this. All right. Near future 1 and 2. Final outcome 1, 2, and 3. Near future 1. This is aggressive law enforcement, but he also gets aggressive sometimes. Ace of Cups. Belligerent. Being belligerent about the committee, the January 6th stuff. Just because I said he wasn't always listened to doesn't mean he's not completely full of himself now. So, final outcome 1, 2, and 3. 1, there's Trump the man. 2, Wheel of Fortune. 3, this is the political power of Trump and Trumpism going down. Certainly the power of Trump going down, but things are changing. I'm just getting him being frustrated. Other people see people going to prison. I don't know what it's going to be. Tucker, though. I think Hannity was closer to Trump than Tucker. So why is Tucker? Was Tucker just not included in some things that Hannity was? What has the Biden administration got to do with it? Oh, narrow-minded, little-minded Tuck. 3 of Wands, Magician, 6 of Wands. Yay, far-right victory. Empress. We're going to get a victory. No, you're not. This is I'll put all this right-wing stuff out there. No, good things will come back to me. I'm standing up. We're going to get this. Because usually in these spreads, it's the card in the middle that has the most power. But it feels like this is what he's aiming for. Yes, in front of America, we're going to have this great victory. But it feels like the energy goes, ooh. No. But I'm not getting as much about him specifically. Again, do remember his energy is, let's put it this way. I'm surprised he can breathe, how high up he has his nose. We are the peasants. We are the little scurrying ant-like traitors in his grand vision of himself. Oh boy. Yeah. So, see, now I'm curious. 5930. I get to as many of these questions I can, and I'll read the ones tomorrow that I don't get to. Why Hannity and not Tucker? I mean, technically, doesn't Tucker have higher ratings than Hannity? You'd think. Yep, MKLB Trust Fund Tuck. Trust Fund Tucker. Try saying that. Seriously. Try saying it. Trust Fund Tucker. Revolution Ricky says he has his nose so far up in the air he can smell ET. Yes. Why? Why Hannity? Why did Trump trust Hannity? Why was Trump talking to Hannity all the time and not Tucker? What did Trump and Tucker... Hannity's more willing to listen. Oh, thank you, Irma. Happy New Year. Thank you. Semper says Tucker doesn't actually like Trump. There we go. DLC says, oh, okay, talking about, okay. 3 of Cups. Yeah, I think actually you can tell just by the way they talk to people. I think Hannity's just easier to talk to or talk at, which is probably more what was going on. Hannity listens. He could vent his grievances to Hannity, who could walk around. You know, if you've ever had a friend who just constantly talks about themselves, everything you mention is just, they've done that, they've done it, they've da-da-da-da. Everything goes back to them. You know, it's, and for some reason you decide you still want to be friends with this person, or it's like, okay, put that on, you know, earbud and like clean your kitchen or do other stuff while they're just yapping. Yeah. And when Trump was talking about stealing the election, all this stuff, Tucker would have been much more blunt. Helen is saying he and Hannity shared Cohen as a lawyer. Well, there's that too, but I mean, he knew they know each other. I was just wondering, it's just because Hannity would listen to him, or is Tucker is just too full of himself and blunt, and he doesn't want to listen. That's why Tucker would actually make a really, really bad journalist. To be a journalist, you have to get people. You have to get other people talking, and you have to listen. Tucker Carlson. Oh boy. Okay. 104. Where are we down to? Melster 48. By the way, thank you, Hippie Sue. Hippie Sue grabbed some questions that had been put in early in the chat that YouTube got rid of, but she grabbed the screen captures and sent them to me. So I have questions that were here. Thank you. So Melster 48, where are we again? We're at 104 and a bit. Okay, so will the 100 House and Senate members that Peter Navarro just exposed be charged with conspiracy to commit sedition or anything related to attempting to overthrow our government? Thank you, Lady Farley. Wow, thank you. All right, House and Senate members. Peter Navarro exposed. I don't know if there's a whole 100. Maybe there is. Maybe there's more. Who knows? Ace of Swords. Oh, that's going to be some hard questioning. Five of Cups. 10 of Wands, Moon, 10 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. They're going to be there. Yeah, they tried to stop everything. They tried to stop any kind of independent counsel, January 6th committee from happening. And they were trying to like hide stuff away. Well, just make it all go away. But it's not going away, and the plan is still there. The plan is being revealed. And legally, they're going to be in some big trouble. Man. Helen says, guess intent is difficult to prove. Well, there's that. Running Sloth says that homes in West Virginia are affordable. I don't know why. I've always had a feeling that they won't always be. I really think stuff from Washington, D.C. is headed that way. Stuff from that whole area around Washington, D.C. It's headed up into the hills. Empress, we will see what's going to happen to them. Hippie Sue, I'm home. No reaction so far. I can't tell what those emojis are. Sorry. Let's see. Nope. Yoga? Cartwheels? Anyway, but thank you, Hippie Sue, for grabbing those questions for people. Knight of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Judgment. Oh, certainly at the election. Their right-wing communications. They're going to, the far right's going to try to make a deal out of the January 6th committee, their findings, and the people they've referred to the DOJ for criminal prosecution. They're gonna try to make a deal out of it, but all of this energy feels like it's kind of flowing into Election Day. Sure, Jane, I can take more questions tomorrow. I'm afraid I've already got too many. So I got sidetracked because it felt like there was something maybe we could learn around Melania. So, oh boy. All right, 109. There was some news that lawmakers are hoping that pro-Trump sycophancy will end on the House Intel Committee now that Devin Nunes is gone. I want to know about that pro-Trump. I don't care about Nunes. Pro-Trump sycophancy. The sycophants. Is that going to the committees? Is that going to lessen anytime soon? No. I just thought I'd pull 3 cards. Oh boy. Man. 9 of Wands. They're feeling beaten up. You've been beating us up for years now. 7 of Pentacles, Judgment, 7 of Cups. Fruits of labor, they make money from their base and lying about what the Democrats are doing. It's all about the next election. Whatever they think will help them win the next election, that's what they'll do. Not really a surprise there. All right, 111. There was a question going back to Ted Cruz. Exactly how much trouble do you think you're in, Ted? News is, Ted was yelled at for calling January 6th a terrorist attack. And then he started backpedaling. How much trouble does Ted Cruz think he's in? Ah, snowflake. Your dog is so much more interesting to read on than you are. Can we put the poodle in your seat? I think Snowflake would be a better senator. Ted Cruz, how much trouble do you think you're in? Oh, was this last night where Pamela says Tuckham's really went after him? Yeah. Yes, Don Gubb, free Snowflake. Strength. Actually, it feels like Snowflake's being taken good care of by like the daughters and strength. I have the power of Trump compel thee. Ugh. He thinks he's safe. He thinks somehow the far right, they'll pull together, they'll protect him somehow. Katie Arbuckle says, wait, his dog is named Snowflake? Yep, little miniature poodle. Well, it's not purebred, but yeah. I showed the picture the other day, forlorn, looking out the front window when Cancun Cruz and his family went off while everybody else was freezing to death. 3 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 2 of Swords, 2 of Cups. Oh, he doesn't think he's in trouble at all. Ted Cruz does not think he's in trouble at all. Yeah, the far right, they think they've got their thing. It's not great. Oh, they're prancing through. It's almost, I'm getting a mental image of like this as like a real figure, a Democratic knight, but specifically going after seditionists, what have you. It's like he's sitting in the chamber, and there's this guy on this horse who's like going back and forth in there, and he's just like, oh. And decisions will be made, but everything will be fine. How much trouble are you actually in? Oh, Ted. How much trouble are you actually in, Ted? Oh, it looks like they're going to rain on your parade. Oh, Diane Cachet saying, did you notice how poor little Tuk kept tossing in compliments about Cruz being in the running for the Supreme Court and how smart he is? After he yelled at him for calling the January 6th an act of terrorism? I assume that was after that? I don't know. I didn't see the thing, so. Page of Wands, 4 of Wands, Hanged Man. This is how much trouble he's actually in. Trump Messenger, Trump Base. Chad, Hanging Chad. Everything turned on its head. Oh gosh, I don't want to say. Oh my gosh, Cruz is a Supreme Court judge. Oh my gosh. Please don't make me read on that. Oh, but I probably should tomorrow or the day after. Oh gosh. Ted Cruz is Supreme Court Justice. Oh my gosh. 116. About time, Liz. The Queen of England, UK, Scotland, Northern Ireland. The Queen refuses to pay Andrew's sex abuse case legal fees, forces him to quickly sell his chalet. He and Sarah Ferguson have a chalet in Switzerland that they've been trying to sell. The Queen's not going to pay your legal fees, huh? I was reading an article today in the Vanity Fair. It was about, there's an article in Vanity Fair about Andrew's money problems. The root problem is you cannot have the sovereign's children out hunting for money. This has come back to haunt them over and over again. How do you properly represent the family? How do you finance multi-million-dollar homes and travel all over the world representing the brand? How do you live? So what do you do? You're in a constant search for money. His official annual income is $323,000, tax-free, from the Queen, plus $26,000 a year from his 22-year service in the Royal Navy. Good for him. Yes, Helen, they still owe the vendor of the Swiss chalet. Yes, it's like $9 million or something they owe, but outside of the direct line of the ascendancy to the throne, Prince Charles and Prince William, peripheral family members are severely underfinanced and have limited options on how commercial they can be to make money. You can't take a conventional job without leaving the family, and family duties take a massive percentage of your time. So, and his finances have repeatedly landed him in trouble, which is, they're saying, is pretty much why he ended up around Epstein. Because they said when he would travel, sometimes he would stay in a hotel, but mostly he tried to stay with the rich people. It's because he was trying to get money out of them. His finances have repeatedly landed him in trouble. Beatrice got a $30,000 gold and diamond necklace from a convicted Libyan gun smuggler months before. Andrew is said to have recommended him to a British company. His relationship with the controversial British businessman David Spotty Rowland, his nickname is Spotty, who reportedly paid off a $2 million bank loan on Andrew's behalf. The sale of his mansion, Sunning Hill Park, to the son-in-law of Kazakhstan's president, he sold for $25 million, notably $4.9 million more than the asking price. Most recently, a lawsuit filed by the previous owner of the Swiss chalet, Andrew and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, purchased in 2014 for $23 million. The lawsuit was filed for missing nearly $9 million in loan payments. The couple have settled the debt and reportedly want to sell the chalet. it's a Vanity Fair article, so it's very long. This is how they were finding out information. All right, that's not. They were chasing to find out information, and then talks about basically, as Andrew has fallen further and further out of favor, even just publicly, he was looking for money wherever he could get it. Sort of like Trump, going to the oligarchs and what have you. And that's how he ended up with someone like Epstein. Because if Epstein could play with Bill Gates and some of these other people, if Epstein could play with Bill Gates and Leon Black, ostensibly the smartest people on the planet, anyway, members of the royal family are easy marks compared to them, and Prince Andrew is probably the lowest hanging fruit in the family tree. And putting Jeffrey Epstein with Prince Andrew was like putting a rattlesnake in an aquarium with a mouse. The rattlesnake may eat him now. Rattlesnake may save him for later. But the mouse ain't gonna win. And Andrew had entered the rattlesnake's den for what turned out to be a mere $125,000. That's how much Sarah Ferguson owned her former assistant in unpaid bills and wages. It was a small fraction of the more than $7 million that Ferguson owed. On and on and on and on and on. So anyway, the debts are bad. They've been bad for a long time. And there's more and more. So there's a lot more in that article. So going to Vanity Fair is definitely worth that Vanity Fair article. Do head over to Vanity Fair because. So Queen's not paying your bills anymore, huh? So you're going to sell the chalet, and then what? I mean, if he's smart, he will stay in. Apparently, there's a small house, that the Queen's allowing him to live in. Well, you've got somewhere to live, and you've got $340,000 a year from the Queen. And even if you say you're not going to do that anymore, you've got $29,000 a year from your pension. You won't starve. But what's going to happen to Andrew? Jeanette says it's not small. Windsor Great Lodge rent is paid by the Queen. I thought it was Windsor. The Great Lodge. Small. He's still low-hanging fruit. He's still very corruptible. He is corrupt and he is corruptible. Queen of Swords, Hanged Man, Page of Cups, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords. It's going to be one more legal mess after another. This is going to go on for years. This is going to go on for years. This whole legal thing has just turned his world upside down. And it's because of this young person. He's going to get dragged through the mud. And if he's guilty, he absolutely should be. My opinion is he's guilty, but I don't know. Revolution Ricky says, sounds like the Queen cut off his allowance. The kind of lawyers he's got, the kind of legal fees he's racking up, Oof. I'm sorry. I've got to blow my nose. I'm going to mute. Sorry about that. Jeanette says if Goof Free wins, the others will have courage to come forward. Yep. Electrostorm, I agree. And the reality is, if he had just acted decently, if he had just been a decent human being, he could have kept his head down and skated through life. Rainy Hajay says he'd been swept under the carpet here. Not going there. Fool. Queen. No. Empress. Queen. That's what it... Yeah. Tower. Queen. Fool. Queen. Tower. I don't think you really need to... Looking at that picture, I don't think you really need to be able to read cards to say, this doesn't look good. All right. All right, you moron. I am done looking at you. Ick. Helen says Andrew was always too arrogant and foolish. Mm-hmm. Electrostorm says if he had just taken the money and kept it in his pants, it'd be sort of good. Apparently this is a long, but this is decades and decades and decades of dubious actions by the prince. Yeah. Polywanda says the English tabloids must be happy. Oh yeah. Be kind. I love that. Be kind says dark deeds always come to light. Yeah. And that's the other thing is I'm hoping that people start realizing that as we move in more into the age of Aquarius and more, there's better understanding of, we are energetic beings, we are in a collective energy, we can actually read on each other, that people will learn that you can't have big secrets like that. You just can't. Because the minute somebody decides they want to read on you, it's right there. It's right there. Like, oh, ick. But it amazes me. There are even, celebrities in Hollywood and, California celebrities. And you'd think with all of their money and the whole California thing that they would use astrologers when they start a relationship or when they get married. Certainly when you get married, you're going to consult an astrologer, right? You're in California, you're an artist. People expect you to be, you'd check, right? Do you know much grief and trauma you could save yourself if you just talk to an astrologer? But no, really? I've seen very, very few of them who actually use astrology. It's like, really? And then you end up in this mess. I thought, doesn't like, I know it doesn't, but doesn't like a California driver's license come with like one free astrology reading? I mean, anyway, 1:30. And Kristen had a question. And since Kristen gives so much to this community, how can I say no to a Kristen question? Not that I say no to your questions anyway, but you know what I mean. Kristen, it goes above and beyond. Thank you. She wants to know, what is Trump's latest karma bill? Let's see. All I wonder is Nancy Reagan consulted an astrologer and got bad press. Yeah, but it was the 80s and she was a conservative and all this kind of stuff. How shocking would it be if Jennifer Lopez went and consulted an astrologer? Would anybody be shocked? Would she lose ticket sales? Would she? No. We would care. Anyway. I should change this. Donald Trump's karma bill. Yeah, Menzie, she probably should. Yeah. Donald Trump's karma bill. For starting an authoritarian, leading an authoritarian rising in the United States of America. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 3 of Cups, star. Queen of Cups. He's hurt everybody. Anybody who's tried to have any kind of, they thought they could trust him with their heart. His kids, his ex-wives, his mistresses. He's hurt everybody. Oh, wow, Holly and friends, that's exciting. I didn't do astrology, but a psychic accurately predicted my marriage. His hair color, his daughter. It was someone I previously knew, but wasn't in my life then. Those details all came true. How great is that? I've had various people tell me I've got a good man in my future, but I didn't. I hope so, but he better like Boo Boo and Pumpkin. Trump's karmic bill. It's pretty much what you'd expect. Yeah, he's gonna have a life review. He's is Trump going to, when Trump passes, is he going to, I call it going up the elevator, because for some reason when people arrive, I picture this like a whole bank of elevators and they just open up and there are people there waiting. I know that's not how it works. That's just what I get mentally. Or you get people like Epstein, who left his body and his vibration dropped him down into one of the more compacted levels. He's not like way down, but he's not. He didn't go up the elevator and get he's still down there on a trickle charge until the system reboots. So what's going to happen to Trump? Oh boy. It's not, yeah. You go down to the more compacted level where it's dark. And then you just sit in that. And that's why you get this nonsense about demons and all of this. It's astral gunk. These people have passed on who they're on such a low vibration, they need to scare you. They need to be negative because that's what they feed on. They feed on that energy. So they make themselves look really scary. Make themselves feel really awful. Get out of my house. Pathetic. He's going to be spending some time in the dark. But not forever. Nobody spends forever in the dark. We retrieve them all. We fish them out of the darkness eventually. Keep him on a trickle charge, but eventually he'll have a life review. He'll see everything he did. He'll be able to feel what he did. But it'll take a while. That's what I'm getting. I'm not wishing it on him. Just saying, keep your vibration high. Then you can just go home. Anyway. Scott Conwell. So defrauding gunky astral dust bunnies. Got it. Or marauding gunky astral dust bunnies. I don't even say marauding. They can't usually move around that much. But they'll just mess with your head and try to, it's like, oh, please. Booga booga. You're pathetic. Get out of my house. Revolution Ricky says, Autumn, my religion, which is LDS, calls it the spirit prison. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm afraid that's as far as I got today, but I will move some of these questions over for tomorrow. And I will be right back here at noon tomorrow. I'm here 365 days of the year. And I get through as many questions as I can. So hang in there. Okay. And thank you so very much for being here and just joining in with this great community. You guys make this a great community. All right. At 1:56 p.m. here in Chicago, at 4 o'clock, I will be over at Book Art Media. Links in the description to do creative sprints. And other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow. Just don't forget, you're never truly alone. And there are good days ahead, okay? Keep that in mind. All right. I'll talk to you either later or I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.